Hello and welcome back. This is your host Harshit Sinha. Once again, an interesting topic on plastic waste menace, a challenge in waste management for India. Today, plastic waste management has emerged as one of India's most critical environmental challenges. The country faces an escalating crisis, with plastics being one of the most pervasive pollutants in the environment. India is one of the largest consumers of plastic materials in the world. With a rapidly growing population and increasing urbanization, the amount of plastic waste generated is also rising at an alarming rate. According to estimates, India produces approximately 3.4 million tons of plastic waste every year. Despite regulations and measures implemented to reduce plastic waste, such as bans on single-use plastics in some states, the management of plastic waste remains inefficient and inconsistent across regions. This introductory slide provides an overview of the current status of plastic waste management in India, quantifies the types of plastic waste generated, and explores the challenges and issues faced by the country in dealing with plastic pollution leading up to 2024. This presentation explores the current state of plastic waste management in India, quantifying different types of plastic waste produced, and examining the issues and challenges facing the sector through 2024. We'll dive into key statistics, ongoing initiatives, and potential solutions to address this pressing environmental concern. The problem of plastic waste in India is multifaceted, driven by a combination of widespread plastic use, inadequate waste management infrastructure, and gaps in recycling and disposal mechanisms. Plastic waste management in India is a growing concern, with millions of tons of plastic being discarded annually into landfills, rivers, and oceans. The unregulated disposal of plastic contributes to environmental pollution and poses a threat to wildlife, human health, and ecosystems. Let us now quantifying plastic waste in India. India's plastic waste problem is significant, with growing numbers every year. According to the Central Pollution Control Board, CPCB, India generated about 3.5 million tons of plastic waste in 2021, a number expected to increase annually as the use of plastic continues to rise. Some of the key statistics around plastic waste in India include plastic waste generation. The total plastic waste generated by Indian urban areas is estimated to be around 10,000 tons per day. This represents a 5.6% annual increase in plastic waste generation. Recycling rate. It is estimated that only about 60% of plastic waste is recycled in India, with the remaining portion either going to landfills or being burned in open air, which has severe environmental and health consequences. Co-processing and energy recovery. Approximately 7 to 9% of the collected plastic waste was used in co-processing as fuel in cement kilns or waste to energy plants. In conclusion, India's plastic waste management faces significant hurdles in managing these large volumes, particularly given the informal sector's dominance in waste collection, recycling, and disposal processes. The composition of plastic waste in India varies, with PET, LDPE, and HDPE being the most common types. Other types include PP, polypropylene, PS, polystyrene, and PVC, polyvinyl chloride, each contributing smaller percentages to the overall waste stream. Understanding this composition is crucial for developing effective recycling and management strategies. Let us discuss each of them, as each type has distinct uses and waste generation patterns. 1. PET, polyethylene terephthalate. Commonly used in packaging materials like water bottles, PET accounts for a substantial portion of India's plastic waste. Its recyclability is high, but effective collection systems remain a challenge. PET waste contributes significantly to India's overall plastic waste stream due to its widespread use in beverage and food industries. 2. LDPE, low-density polyethylene. LDPE is used in products like plastic bags, wraps, and squeeze bottles. It is lightweight and flexible, making it ideal for single-use plastics, which are a major source of littered waste. LDPE waste accounts for a significant share of the non-recycled fraction due to the lower focus on recycling thin plastic films. 3. HDPE, high-density polyethylene. HDPE, known for its rigidity and strength, is used in containers, crates, and pipes. Its recyclability is higher compared to LDPE, but lower than PET. HDPE waste is generated primarily from consumer goods and industrial packaging, contributing notably to the rigid plastic waste category. In conclusion, India's plastic consumption is growing rapidly, driven by sectors like packaging, 59% of total plastic usage, agriculture, and infrastructure. Effective management of these types of waste is hindered by inadequate segregation and processing infrastructure, despite regulations under the Plastic Waste Management Rules 2016. The distribution of plastic waste generation in India is not uniform across the country. Megacities like Mumbai, Delhi, and Kolkata contribute the largest share, followed by large and medium-sized cities. Small cities and rural areas, while generating less plastic waste per capita, still contribute significantly to the overall volume due to their large population base. The geographical distribution of plastic waste generation in India reveals distinct patterns across urban and rural areas, reflecting population density and consumption habits. 1. Megacities like Delhi, Mumbai, Kolkata, and Chennai contribute around 40% of the country's total plastic waste. These urban centers generate vast amounts of waste due to high population densities, industrial activities, and consumer lifestyles. For example, Delhi alone produces an average of 102.98 kilo of plastic waste per ton of municipal solid waste daily, a significant proportion from HDPE, LDPE packaging materials. 2. Large cities such as Bangalore and Hyderabad account for approximately 30% of plastic waste. While these cities have some waste management initiatives, a substantial portion of their plastic remains unprocessed, often disposed of through crude dumping. 3. Medium cities, contributing 20% of total plastic waste, face challenges in waste segregation and recycling due to limited infrastructure and financial resources. 4. Smaller towns and rural areas generate about 10% of the total plastic waste. Although their contribution is lower, improper disposal methods like open burning and unregulated dumping exacerbate environmental pollution. Rural regions often lack adequate waste collection systems, with only around 81% coverage nationally, leaving a significant portion of waste uncollected and unmanaged. Overall, India's plastic waste crisis stems from inadequate waste management practices and the lack of enforcement of recycling initiatives. Policy efforts such as bans on single-use plastics and the promotion of extended producer responsibility are crucial to addressing this issue comprehensively. Plastic waste management in India involves several key practices to handle the vast quantities of waste generated daily. These practices include collection and segregation, recycling, landfilling, and incineration, each contributing differently to the management of plastic waste. 1. Collection and segregation. A significant portion of India's plastic waste is collected by informal waste pickers, contributing to about 60% of waste being recycled. Efforts to formalize this process are underway, with projects like the United Nations Development Programme, UNDP, establishing material recovery centers to streamline segregation and support waste pickers. Despite a high official collection rate of around 81-95%, inconsistencies and gaps in data often lead to inefficiencies in segregation. 2. Recycling. Approximately 60% of India's plastic waste is recycled, but much of this is through informal methods. Recycling in India predominantly focuses on thermoplastics, which can be melted and remolded. However, the lack of infrastructure and reliance on the informal sector result in limited capacity for processing other types of plastics, such as thermosetting plastics 3. Landfilling. Landfilling remains a common practice, with about 30% of plastic waste being dumped in open, uncontrolled landfills. This practice often leads to soil and water pollution due to chemical leachates from the waste 4. Incineration, open burning of plastic waste, particularly in rural and peri-urban areas, is prevalent. While incineration can reduce waste volume, it releases harmful pollutants such as dioxins and furans, contributing to air pollution and posing health risks. Moving forward, better enforcement of regulations, increased investment in recycling technologies, and the integration of informal workers into the formal economy are critical to improving plastic waste management in India. India's approach to plastic waste management has evolved significantly through a series of legislative interventions by the Ministry of Environment, Forest, and Climate Change. This note explores the critical amendments and regulations from 2011 to 2021 that have shaped the national strategy for addressing plastic pollution. 1. 2011 Plastic Waste Management and Handling. Rules. The initial framework established in 2011 marked India's first comprehensive attempt to regulate plastic waste. Key provisions included mandating responsibilities for municipal authorities and gram panchayats in plastic waste collection, introducing guidelines for recycling and disposal of plastic waste, and prohibiting the manufacture, storage, and distribution of carry bags below a specified thickness. 2. 2016 Plastic Waste Management Rules. The 2016 amendment significantly expanded the scope and implementation mechanisms for extended producer responsibility, EPR, for plastic manufacturers, introduction of a more comprehensive waste collection and segregation framework, explicit guidelines for registration of plastic waste processors, and prohibited direct disposal of plastic waste in streets, water bodies, and open areas. 3. 2018 Plastic Waste Management Amendment. Rules. The 2018 amendment introduced more stringent regulations, largely focused to enhanced restrictions on single-use plastics, mandatory phase-out of multi-layered plastic packaging, stricter penalties for non-compliance, and emphasis on alternative and biodegradable packaging solutions. 4. 2021 Plastic Waste Management Amendment. Rules. The most recent amendment focused on comprehensive plastic waste elimination, directed to complete ban on identified single-use plastic items, mandatory collection and recycling targets for plastic manufacturers, introduction of a more robust tracking and reporting mechanism, and empowering local bodies to enforce plastic waste regulations. 5. The 2022 Plastic Waste Management Rules. It was introduced critical reforms to address plastic pollution comprehensively to complete ban on identified single-use plastic items, nationwide extended producer responsibility, EPR, with mandatory collection and recycling targets, stricter regulations for plastic packaging, emphasizing recyclability and reduced environmental impact, enhanced penalties for non-compliance, mandatory registration for plastic waste processors, promotion of alternatives and sustainable packaging solutions, empowerment of local bodies for effective enforcement, introduction of a centralized online portal for tracking plastic waste management. 6. 2022 Plastic Waste Management Second Amendment. Rules. The Second Amendment to the Plastic Waste Management Rules 2022 introduces more stringent measures to combat plastic pollution. Key highlights include for expanded definition of plastic waste categories, enhanced extended producer responsibility (EPR) mechanisms, stricter guidelines for plastic waste collection and recycling, mandatory reporting of plastic waste management efforts, introduction of more comprehensive tracking systems, increased penalties for non-compliance with plastic waste regulations. These amendments aim to strengthen India's approach to plastic waste management, promoting sustainable practices and environmental conservation. These progressive regulatory frameworks demonstrate India's commitment to addressing plastic pollution through systematic legal interventions, emphasizing reduction, recycling, and responsible waste management. Plastic waste management in India faces several challenges, impacting the country's ability to reduce waste generation and improve recycling rates. 1. Infrastructure gap. India struggles with inadequate waste management infrastructure. The country produces more than 26,000 tons of plastic waste daily, yet the waste management systems, especially in rural and semi-urban areas, are insufficient for effective collection, segregation, and recycling. The lack of proper facilities and limited technological innovation restricts the country's ability to process plastic waste efficiently. 2. Informal sector dominance. The informal sector plays a crucial role in plastic waste management, with waste pickers contributing significantly to waste collection. However, this sector operates outside the formal regulatory frameworks, limiting the potential for efficient recycling. Integrating the informal sector into formal waste management systems remains a challenge, despite some legislative progress to recognize waste pickers' rights and roles. 3. Low awareness. Public awareness regarding the environmental impacts of plastic waste remains low. Efforts to educate citizens on waste segregation and recycling are limited, and there is a lack of consistent behavior change at the community level. This, combined with inadequate enforcement of plastic waste rules, hampers progress toward reducing waste. 4. Implementation hurdles. Despite the existence of plastic waste management policies, their enforcement is inconsistent, especially in smaller towns and rural areas. Coordination between local authorities, industries, and communities is often fragmented, hindering effective implementation of plastic waste management rules. Improving infrastructure, integrating the informal sector, raising awareness, and overcoming implementation challenges are essential for a sustainable solution to India's plastic waste problem. The implementation of EPR in India aims to make producers responsible for the entire life cycle of plastic products. However, challenges remain in terms of creating a robust ecosystem for collection, recycling, and monitoring compliance across the diverse Indian market. Extended Producer Responsibility (EPR) is a vital mechanism under India's plastic waste management rules to ensure accountability in managing plastic waste. The main objective of EPR are to minimize plastic waste environmental impact, promote circular economy principles, and encourage sustainable production practices. It involves 4 key components. 1. Producer registration. All producers, importers, and brand owners must register with the Central Pollution Control Board, CPCB, or State Pollution Control Boards. Registration ensures compliance with EPR guidelines and enables monitoring of their waste management responsibilities. The process involved mandatory online registration for all plastic manufacturers, submission of detailed company profiles and plastic production data, unique registration identification for tracking and accountability, and annual renewal and updated documentation requirements. 2. Target setting. Producers are required to meet predefined targets for the collection, recycling, and reuse of plastic waste. The 2022 rules mandate specific percentages of plastic packaging to be collected and recycled, aligning with a circular economy approach. Targets increase incrementally to encourage compliance and innovation. Here, it also includes scientifically determined plastic waste collection and recycling targets, graduated targets based on production volume and plastic type, differentiated targets for virgin and recycled plastic materials, and annual progressive reduction of virgin plastic usage. 3. Collection and recycling. Producers must establish systems for waste collection, including partnerships with local bodies, recyclers, and third-party organizations. EPR emphasizes using recycled materials in manufacturing, reducing dependence on virgin plastics. Mechanisms like buyback or deposit refund systems are encouraged to streamline collection. Here, the process includes establishment of collection mechanisms in collaboration with local bodies, development of decentralized plastic waste collection infrastructure, incentivization of recycling through financial and regulatory frameworks, and promotion of innovative recycling technologies and approaches. 4. Reporting and auditing. Regular reporting to CPCB through an online portal is mandatory. Reports detail waste collected, recycled, and processed. Auditing ensures data accuracy and compliance, with penalties imposed for shortfalls or non-compliance under the polluter pays principle. It also includes quarterly digital reporting of plastic waste management metrics, mandatory environmental compliance audits, third-party verification of waste management claims, transparent digital dashboards for public accountability, and penalties for non-compliance and underperformance. The viewers should note that this is only a brief introduction to EPR. However, continuing this series, we have planned to make a special detailed presentation. Innovative solutions are transforming how plastic waste is managed to address environmental concerns effectively. 1. Plastic roads are a notable development where recycled plastic replaces traditional asphalt, enhancing durability and reducing waste. India has pioneered this innovation, incorporating tons of plastic waste into road construction projects too. Waste-to-fuel technologies like pyrolysis convert non-recyclable plastics into fuels and chemicals. These processes not only reduce plastic waste, but also create alternative energy sources, offering a sustainable pathway for managing plastic pollution. 3. Smart bins equipped with IoT sensors monitor fill levels, optimize collection routes, and minimize inefficiencies in waste collection systems. This technological integration improves operational efficiency and reduces emissions associated with waste management. 4. Biodegradable alternatives such as polylactic acid, PLA, and polyhydroxyalkanoates, PHA, offer sustainable substitutes for traditional plastics. These materials decompose faster under specific conditions, significantly reducing environmental impact. Plant-based plastics derived from renewable resources like cornstarch are gaining traction as eco-friendly alternatives. Collectively, these innovations signify a shift toward a circular economy, emphasizing sustainability and resource optimization in tackling the plastic waste crisis. The informal sector plays a crucial role in India's plastic waste management, handling a significant portion of recycling activities. However, this sector faces challenges such as health risks, exploitation, and lack of social security. Integrating the informal sector into formal waste management systems remains a key challenge and opportunity for improving overall plastic waste management in India. 1. Waste pickers. At the base of the informal sector, waste pickers collect discarded plastics from streets, landfills, and households. Their efforts form the backbone of plastic waste collection, recovering over 60% of recyclable materials. However, they often work in unsafe conditions with minimal recognition or support. 2. Small traders. These intermediaries buy segregated plastic waste from waste pickers, sort it further, and sell it to larger aggregators or recycling units. Their role ensures an efficient flow of recyclable materials through the value chain. 3. Recycling units. Informal recycling units process collected plastics into pellets or other reusable forms. These small-scale enterprises handle a significant share of the country's recycling needs, but face challenges such as outdated technology and lack of regulatory compliance. 4. Manufacturers. Some manufacturers integrate recycled plastics into new products, promoting a circular economy. However, informal sector recyclers often struggle to meet the quality standards required for such manufacturing. Despite their contributions, the informal sector remains undervalued and lacks access to formal recognition, social benefits, and safe working conditions. Integrating this sector into formal waste management systems could enhance efficiency, sustainability, and worker welfare. The outlook for plastic waste management in 2024 is promising, with several key trends shaping the landscape. 1. Stricter implementation of bans. Governments worldwide are tightening regulations on single-use plastics. For instance, India has banned the manufacture, import, stocking, distribution, sale, and use of identified single-use plastic items since July 1, 2023. Enforcement campaigns and stringent penalties are being implemented to ensure compliance. 2. Stricter EPR compliance. Extended Producer Responsibility (EPR) regulations are becoming more rigorous. Producers, importers, and brand owners are now required to manage the entire life cycle of their products, including collection, recycling, and disposal. This shift aims to reduce environmental pollution and promote sustainable practices. 3. Technological advancements. Innovations in technology are playing a crucial role in enhancing plastic waste management. Advanced recycling techniques, such as chemical recycling, are being developed to handle complex plastic waste streams. Additionally, new sorting technologies and AI-driven systems are improving the efficiency of recycling processes. 4. Circular economy. Focus. The circular economy model is gaining traction as a sustainable approach to plastic waste management. This model emphasizes reducing waste generation, promoting reuse, and recycling materials to create a closed-loop system. By adopting circular economy principles, businesses can minimize their environmental impact and contribute to a more sustainable future. Despite growing global efforts to address plastic pollution, several significant challenges persist that could hinder progress in 2024 and beyond. Increasing waste volumes. The global waste generation is projected to rise significantly, driven by population growth, urbanization, and economic development. Municipal solid waste generation is expected to increase from 2.1 billion tons in 2023 to 3.8 billion tons by 2502. This surge in waste volumes poses a substantial challenge for waste management systems worldwide. India is witnessing a significant rise in plastic waste due to rapid urbanization and consumption. The growing generation of single-use plastics, despite bans, adds to this problem. The reasons are rapid urbanization driving exponential plastic consumption, projected 15 to 20% annual increase in plastic waste generation, metropolitan areas facing unprecedented waste accumulation, complex waste streams from diverse industrial and consumer sectors, and limited existing infrastructure to manage escalating volumes, recycling capacity. Despite the growing emphasis on recycling, the current recycling capacity is not sufficient to handle the increasing waste volumes. In many regions, only a fraction of the waste generated is recycled, with a significant portion ending up in landfills or being improperly disposed of. Enhancing recycling infrastructure and technology is crucial to address this challenge. Existing recycling infrastructure struggles to manage escalating waste volumes efficiently. Informal recycling practices dominate, often leading to environmental and health concerns. Expanding formal recycling facilities and integrating informal sectors into structured systems remain key needs. The shortcomings are current recycling infrastructure significantly under capacity, technological gaps in processing complex plastic compositions, limited advanced recycling facilities nationwide, high costs of technological upgrades, inadequate segregation mechanisms, and low recovery rates for multi-layered packaging materials. Behavioral change, effective waste management, requires a shift in individual and community behaviors. Encouraging sustainable practices such as reducing, reusing, and recycling can significantly impact waste reduction. However, achieving widespread behavioral change is a complex task that involves education, awareness campaigns, and policy interventions. Public awareness and active participation in reducing plastic waste are limited. Transitioning to sustainable habits and compliance with segregation at source require targeted educational campaigns and incentives. The concern issues to it are deeply entrenched single-use plastic consumption patterns, low public awareness about sustainable alternatives, cultural resistance to changing established consumption habits, limited consumer motivation for segregation and responsible disposal, and insufficient educational and awareness programs. Financial constraints. Waste management systems often face financial challenges, including the high costs of waste collection, recycling, and disposal. Governments and municipalities may struggle to allocate sufficient funds for waste management infrastructure and operations. Innovative financing mechanisms and public-private partnerships can help overcome these financial constraints and ensure sustainable waste management practices. Implementing advanced waste management systems, including technological solutions like smart collection systems, demands significant investment. Municipal budgets are often insufficient, hindering progress towards sustainable practices. The other reasons are high investment requirements for waste management infrastructure, limited government and private sector funding, economic challenges post-pandemic affecting infrastructure investments, high operational costs of advanced recycling technologies, and limited financial incentives for sustainable waste management. To effectively address the plastic waste crisis, a comprehensive approach is necessary. Here are some key recommendations. 1. Strengthen policy framework. Governments should enhance their policy frameworks to ensure comprehensive plastic waste management. This includes stricter regulations on plastic production, usage, and disposal, as well as mandatory reporting and compliance. The Plastic Waste Management Amendment Rules 2024, introduced by the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change in India, exemplify such efforts. So what finally required is enforceable regulations. Governments should enact and enforce stringent regulations on plastic production, use, and disposal. Extended Producer Responsibility, EPR. Implement robust EPR policies to hold producers accountable for the entire life cycle of their products. Bans and restrictions. Impose bans on single-use plastics and restrict the use of certain plastic items. Economic instruments. Utilize economic instruments like taxes and levies to discourage plastic use and incentivize recycling. 2. Investing in infrastructure. Developing robust waste management infrastructure is crucial. This involves setting up more recycling facilities, waste-to-energy plants, and proper disposal systems. Investment in infrastructure will help manage plastic waste more efficiently and reduce environmental pollution. So now where we require investment are waste management facilities. Invest in modern waste management infrastructure, including collection systems, sorting facilities, and recycling plants. Recycling technologies. Promote the development and adoption of advanced recycling technologies to improve recycling rates and quality. Waste-to-energy plants. Explore the potential of waste-to-energy technologies to convert plastic waste into energy. 3. Promote innovation. Encouraging innovation in plastic waste management can lead to more effective solutions. This includes developing new recycling technologies, biodegradable plastics, and alternative materials. Innovation can also help improve the efficiency of existing waste management processes. So now, where to promote innovations are research and development. Support research and development to find innovative solutions for plastic waste management, including biodegradable plastics and chemical recycling. Design for recycling. Encourage the design of products with recyclability in mind, reducing the complexity of recycling processes. Circular economy. Promote a circular economy approach where plastic waste is recovered and reused to create new products. 4. Enhance public awareness. Raising public awareness about the impact of plastic waste and the importance of proper disposal is essential. Educational campaigns, community programs, and school initiatives can help change public behavior and promote sustainable practices. So now, what strategies must be adopted to increase public awareness? Education and awareness campaigns. Conduct public awareness campaigns to educate people about the impact of plastic pollution and encourage responsible consumption. Behavioral change. Promote behavioral changes through initiatives like plastic-free challenges and community engagement programs. Consumer empowerment. Empower consumers to make informed choices by providing clear labeling and information on product recyclability. 5. Formalizing the informal sector. The informal sector, including waste pickers and small-scale recyclers, plays a significant role in plastic waste management. Formalizing this sector by providing training, resources, and legal recognition can improve recycling rates and ensure better working conditions for these workers. So now what key action is required to formalize the informal sector? Support waste pickers, provide training, equipment, and social security benefits to waste pickers to improve their working conditions and enhance their contribution to recycling. Integrate informal sector. Integrate the informal sector into formal waste management systems to improve efficiency and environmental. We here come to the end of this presentation, highlighting one of the challenging tasks in the waste management related to plastic waste, considered to be a great menace under waste management. Let us now recall the topics covered today in the presentation. It started with current status of plastic waste management and the types of plastic waste produced in India, followed by geographical distribution of plastic waste and the current plastic waste management practices done in India. This is followed up with the legal framework for plastic waste management and describe what are the challenges in plastic waste management. Later, the significance of extended producer responsibility, EPR, implementation was briefly narrated with the innovations in plastic waste management. Continuing this, the role of informal sector in recycling plastic waste management outlook for 2024 was discussed and a detailed explanation regarding potential challenges. Through 2024 was made, and in the end, probable recommendations for improving plastic waste management was suggested. Before we dive into new topic, I request the viewer to stay tuned with another interesting topic, continuing with this series with e-waste management and challenges in India. Till then, we wish you happy and prosperous preparations of Christmas vacation.